On average, households spend 54% of their income to purchase food. Reduction of food prices and subsequently cost of living can be achieved at the same time. Agricultural growth creates more jobs than any other sector due to its linkage to many sectors of our economy. 2/3 of Kenyans derive their income from agriculture. Increasing income to farmers translates to many of our people having more income, which they can spend and spur even more economic growth. Agro-processing accounts for more than half of our total manufacturing sector. Agro-based manufacturing has placed us at a global competitive advantage since raw materials are locally sourced. Investment in agriculture will therefore undoubtedly spur growth of the manufacturing sector. Erratic rainfall, high cost of inputs, particularly fertilizer, among other factors have led to reduced production of maize and other food crops. The prevailing drought in the arid and semi-arid lands has worsened the food situation in those regions. However, moving forward, we project to produce much higher yields following the wide range of interventions that we have begun to put in place towards increasing our national productivity. Ladies and gentlemen, exhibitors, the livestock subsector plays a very important role, and its growth is expected to contribute towards food and nutrition security and the realization of Vision 2030. The population of the country's dairy cattle is estimated at 5.1 million heads. In the year 2020, milk production was estimated at 4.1 billion liters, valued at Kenya shillings 181.6 billion. At the current demand, the country is self-sufficient in milk production. The beef cattle population is estimated at 16.5 million. Although most beef is produced from rangelands, dairy cattle cows contribute substantially to the national supply. In 2020, the country produced 244,000 metric tons of beef, worth Kenya shillings 103.8 billion. Sheep and goats play a key role in pastoral households, food security, and income owing to their short generation intervals, high adaptability, and versatile feeding habits. The country has an estimated 36 million goats and 25.3 million sheep that produced 80.7 metric tons, 80,000 metric tons of chevron, worth Kenya shillings 36.6 billion, and 79,000 metric tons of mutton, worth another Kenya shillings 33.6 billion, respectively. Ladies and gentlemen, as a government, we are working round the clock to increase agricultural productivity that will eventually lead to increased supply and eventually lower food prices due to supply and demand market forces. There is therefore need to ensure that farm inputs are affordable to farmers. In particular, fertilizer has been flagged as an immediate intervention measure because of its immediate impact on agricultural productivity in both the medium and long term. It is against this background that one of our first pronouncements during the inauguration was to lower fertilizer prices from the current 6,500 to Kenya shillings 3,500 per 50 kg bag. To demonstrate this commitment, we have since rolled out the fertilizer subsidy program that has already made available 1.4 million bags of DAP fertilizer to farmers in regions that are planting this short rain season. Modalities to ensure availability of fertilizer for planting in the 2023 long rain season are in place. The net effect of these interventions is an overall increase in the agricultural output across the critical subsectors, including maize, tea, coffee, rice, wheat, and horticultural crops, among others. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, climate change continues to be a challenge to food production systems in the country, as evidenced by frequent floods and drought. To respond to this and build production resilience, the government initiated and is supporting and promoting various adaptive programs. To cushion our farmers from adversities of climate change, the government has committed Kenya shillings 3 billion to implement the crop insurance program, whose objective is to manage risks and agriculture. To date, the project has covered 1.3 million farmers in 37 counties, targeting maize, Irish potato, and green grams value chains. Further, the government with the support from the World Bank, is implementing the Climate Smart Agricultural Project in 24 counties over a 5-year period, with the objective of increasing agricultural productivity and building resilience to climate change risks in the targeted smallholder farming and pastoral communities in Kenya, and in the event of an eligible crisis or emergency, to provide immediate and effective response. A total of Kenya shillings 27.9 billion is available for this program. Besides supporting community-led projects and mitigating against natural calamity-induced losses, the project also focuses on upscaling climate-smart agricultural practices and puts emphasis on interventions that promote and facilitate adoption of increased productivity, enhanced resilience, and support development of agro-weather forecasting and market information system and their dissemination tools. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to conclude by reiterating the government's commitment to the agricultural sectors as follows. Firstly, provide adequate and affordable working capital to farmers for increased productivity. Secondly, comprehensively manage agricultural-related risks to cushion farmers from uncertainty. Further, assist 2 million food-deficient farmers to become surplus producers through availing affordable finance for inputs and agricultural extension services to increase productivity of key food value chains, maize, dairy, and beef carcass. Additionally, reduce food imports by 30%. Also, revamp underperforming and collapsed export crops, including rice, sugarcane, coffee, cashew nuts, pyrethrum, avocado, macadamia nuts, and fifthly, value addition to tea through blending and breeding. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I once again commend the Agricultural Society of Kenya, the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Cooperatives, the Governor and the County Government of Nairobi, exhibitors and all other stakeholders who contributed towards making this trade fair access. It is now my pleasure to declare the 2022 ASK Nairobi International Trade Fair officially open. God bless you and God bless Kenya. I just want to add only 2 things. One, to confirm to all those present today, and indeed the people of Kenya, that our new administration has focused on agriculture and trade as the most effective tools to turn around the economy and restore the dignity of our people and create wealth and make farmers to have dignity in what they do for a living. Secondly, we want to ask all those in the agricultural sector to be ready to pull up their socks so that they can work together with our government and the county governments to increase productivity as we look for new markets. I want to confirm that we are going to have a paradigm shift in our foreign policy. All the ambassadors and high commissioners who will be appointed by this new administration to serve in the various missions across the globe, 70% of their work will be to look for new markets for our agricultural produce while expanding the existing markets. Indeed, we have agreed that all the ambassadors and high commissioners who will be appointed will sign an MOU with us for 2 years on what we expect them to do in terms of enlarging markets and creating new markets. Those who are unable to deliver will be recalled back home to come and start farming with the other farmers here. I also want to confirm to our farmers in the tea subsector that the government will not allow anybody to destabilize the reforms and the stability that is going on in the tea subsector. The attempt by former directors to forcibly take over factories and the KTDA headquarters is a height of impunity, and the government will not allow impunity. We must allow the directors who are in office to continue executing their mandate and continue instituting reforms in the tea subsector and looking for market to make sure that our tea farmers get value for money. Finally, because the gentlemen of the press are here, you have had a habit over the campaign period to always twist what we say in public to suit your own needs for whatever purpose. If we want to tell the press the campaign is over, report us objectively. When I was in Baringo, I did announce to the people of Kenya that we have a serious program on afforestation. There is a lot of land within the forest reserve that has been earmarked for tree planting, and we are going to mobilize farmers in this old spirit to assist us to plant new trees in those areas that have no trees and take care of them as they farm until the trees are of age, and then the forest can continue growing. So when you twist it that we have said we are going to bring the farmers to come and farm in the forest, that is in bad taste. What we are doing is afforestation to add our forest cover. So all those areas, virgin land within the forest reserve, there will be a very, very serious program of afforestation, and will mobilize farmers near the gazetted reserves to partner with us to start a very serious program of afforestation to be able to enhance our water catchment areas and to be able to deal with the effects of climate change. So I hope you'll be able now to put that one clearly. But if you want to twist it, you can still go ahead, there's no problem. I want to say that we are very happy to be here, and I want to, in a very special way, to thank the police band for the very good entertainment. You know, we have just come from a rigorous campaign. We have never had time to enjoy. So for the few minutes we were listening to Lingala music and all that, we are very excited. And you know, even after the serious campaign, we have come and found an economy that is limping. And we have a lot of work to do. So any one time we get an opportunity to while away and enjoy our rich music, we are also very grateful. So with those very many remarks, I want to say asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki. Thank you very much.